Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. My name's Larry. My call sign's Kilo 7 Hotel November. From around the world, welcome to the Shack. This is Ham Radio Live. We ask you to please subscribe here because we don't put any ads on our channel. Not going to hear anything about dog food, credit cards, or how you can make your yard look better this spring. Nope. Not here. All we ask is you please subscribe because it helps other people find the channel who might have an interest in ham radio, and doggone it, we all know it's the best hobby in the world. We just want to share with others who might think it's too hard to get into or maybe too difficult to understand. This channel helps them to understand it so much better. Happy Saturday. Hey, everybody. It is Saturday, April 3rd, 2021. Welcome to the Shack. This should be a fun show. Hope you enjoy it. We typically do CQ calling on every other Saturday. Now, today is going to be a little different because, to be honest, cell phone service where I'm going to do CQ calling is difficult to get. It's very remote, but it's beautiful. Take some photos of it. I'll let you see how gorgeous the view will be. About 5,000 feet in elevation with a direct shot east towards North America. Beautiful. So, should work really well. Going to bring a couple of antennas with. We'll see how well it works. Maybe meet Sean from the east side of the Cascades. We'll see how that goes. And we'll record the show. I'll have it actually recorded onto my production software. I'll upload it to YouTube so you can hear the results of using a vertical antenna at elevation because it makes a big, big difference. Like the world opens up to you because the antenna can hear better. It's just the truth. Hey, if you'd like to get an amateur radio, we would love to have you here. We really would. Please contact the American Radio Relay League. They're great people. They'll be nice to you. They won't be rude. They'll be nice. Just contact them. www.arrl.org. That's www.arrl.org. And I promise you they will help you, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Today we're going to do a neat show. We're going to talk about a radio that we've talked about doing a show on, but haven't done yet. It's the Kenwood 590 Sugar Golf, also known technically as the Kenwood TS 590 SG. Yeah, that's it. So we're going to talk about that today. Explain that it's a very good radio for the money. A lot of people who get into ham radio don't have a ton of money. I didn't. I mean, people don't have a lot of money sometimes coming in. And I don't want you to think because you're not getting a fancy radio that's got a really neat screen like this, that you're going to be getting less of a ham radio experience, meaning making calls, making contacts, because that's the whole reason we do this, right? I don't want you to think you're getting a compromised radio. There are some really good similar radios to this one, okay? The ones, in my opinion, at least, that are close would be the 590 SG. Yaesu makes a 450D. ICOM's 7200 is outstanding. It really is. Plus, it's got some weatherproof protection as well, which is really good for going out on the road. Also, the ICOM 7100 and 7300 are great starter radios that not only will help you get on the air, but will grow with you as you get on the air. If you got a show suggestion, have a question for me, or would like to know about a product in ham radio, please contact the show. Show email right there is cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. That's cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. Before we start, we'll welcome folks to the house. Welcome Jim in Great Britain. His call sign, Mike 7, Bravo, X-Ray, Tango. It's an honor to have you, Jim. Thanks, buddy. Welcome, mate. Welcome, my mate, all the way there in the UK. Wow. That's so cool. And that's why I start the show at this time. When I do it at noon Pacific, it's a little later for y'all back there in Great Britain. So I'm trying to get it on as close as I can to 11 Pacific because it gets a little earlier for you. By the way, James, I hope the station manager is doing well there in your shack. Okay, let's take a look at the Kenwood TS 590 SG. You might ask questions like, okay, so there's a 590S and a 590 SG. What are the differences? Well, there are some, not a ton. And in performance, you're probably going to get the same performance out of them. Okay. The main differences, some of them, not all of them. Okay. The 590SG's got a CW decoder function on it, which is really good. It's fantastic. Also, it can generate low-level signals on 2200 meters in the 630 meter band, which is cool. It also is got a second receiver. Yep, has an antenna output so you can connect a second receiver. Comes in handy if you want to use like an SDR play for a pan adapter screen. Say you got this radio and you're missing the fact you don't have that flashy screen. You can do that. Okay, it won't look like this. This is the Yaesu Ftdx 101 Delta, but it will still give you that same waterfall. Yep, because the 590SG has the ability to do that for you. Also, the 590SG has a few little cosmetic little enhancements to it, and they did make for a little while a version of this transceiver that was called the Anniversary Edition. There, depending upon which continent you were in, there was a certain amount of transceivers they produced. I believe in the US it was 200, possibly 300. Don't hold me to that. But they were just slightly different. They had a serial number on the back. And if you took a look, for example, at the VFO ring here, you see how it's silver? On the Anniversary Edition, it's gold. That's really it. It doesn't say anniversary on it. It just has the little anniversary, serial number on the back, and it came factory. If you turned in the UPC code, so if you cut out the box, with the UPC code, send it into Kenwood, they would then send you a very nice 75th anniversary Vibroplex CW paddle board as well. So if you see one on QRZ or QTH or maybe eBay, it's an anniversary model, see if you can get it with everything, because, it's going to have the paddle then that says 75th anniversary. It'll have the transceiver. Make sure you look to make sure that that VFO ring is gold. This little silver here should not be silver. It should be gold in color. Okay, let's take a look at some quick hellos. Bob, my brother downstairs, via the Wi-Fi connection. Bob, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming, brother. Appreciate you coming, man. Trucking and fun. Well, it's great to see you, man. It's Kenny, his call sign. Kilo Oscar 4, Oscar Romeo Charlie. Always a pleasure, Kenny. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Later today, I'll be on 20 meters, and we have a real shot to work you. Seriously, no joke. Be at 100 watts. I'll probably use the 7300 and just work straight out. And from where I'm going to work at, the elevation, we've got a clear shot to all of North America. So look on 20, call sign K7HN. Scott, welcome to the channel. Kilo Charlie 2, Charlie Alpha Delta. Howdy all from North Boston, New York. Hello. Scott, thanks for coming. It's good to see you. Again, if y'all want to email the show, you got an idea for it, you'd like to get in contact, people do. They contact me with questions about the test. They contact me with questions about product. Maybe you want to see a review on the show. By the way, thanks for the thumbs up. You guys are too kind. Thank you. That's very nice. Email the show, cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. That's cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. Wanted to make it smaller, but Ham Radio Live was already taken. What the heck can you do? Let's take a look at that Kenwood TS590 SG. All right. Now, this is a transceiver new about $13.25 to $13.50 US, depending upon where you buy it from. All right. It has 100 watts out. It is a single receiver. It does not have the pan adapter screen with the waterfall, but it's a powerhouse. This sounds beautiful. Kenwood sound is fantastic. I just want to say, running a rig, depending upon which radio you use, it really is how you use it, but they all do the same thing. Okay, let me just say it clearly. They all do the same thing. For example, they may do their noise reduction differently, but they have it. They may do their bandwidth adjustment different, but they have it. Okay, they all do things, but they do them different ways. The SG is a really good example of this. It's also pretty menu driven as well. Let me show you. Get in the menu system, and there's lots of things the SG can do. One of the things the SG can do here, and this is in the equalizer section, listen to the sound of the receiver. And you can hear it with no signal, but we'll try and find a signal real quick. And you can tune while you're in the menu, by the way. That's why I wanted to see the VFO. Okay, are we off now?
But I did want to stop in and say hello, and boy, they got a couple of nice towers down there.
Okay, so take a listen to this, and we're going to change the EQ settings that are in the 590. Listen. You change them, by the way. Let me move the camera here. Sorry about that. You change them with the multi-knob. Watch.
There was like a $6 fee was up there. Oh, well. So you have yourself a good afternoon, my friend, and enjoy. We'll maybe see you again. A1 BMW4.
Hear that? So I have it set more for a DX setting for me, at least. That way, if I'm hearing something long distance, it's easier for me to pick it out. I look for the mid-range more than I look for anything. So bass boost, which is BB, isn't something I like personally. It's great to listen to. If you're using ESSP, or perhaps just like better fidelity, the BB settings are great. It's bass boost. I like more of the high cut because it allows me to hear signals that are more difficult to pick out of the noise. Then I just adjust it from there with the high pass and the low pass filter. Let me show you where those are on the 590. And I also want to show you something very important. I saw a comment not long ago on YouTube saying that the Kenwood noise reduction was basically, put the word in that's for awful, okay? That's not, in my opinion, true. I don't think this is any worse than the Icon whatsoever. I still think Yaesu and Elecraft are better. But what I love about Kenwood's noise reduction, let me show you real quick. They have two settings, independently adjustable, and they memorize them. Let me show you real quick. We're going to go back to the rig. We'll come off of menu. We'll see if this guy's still on frequency. And to make it sound more pleasurable for you guys, we'll give you a little bass boost, okay? And let me, looks like their QSO is over. Let's move. And again, now listen to the noise reduction. It's fully independent. Listen. Activate it. Now watch what you can do with it. Hold the button in. Watch what happens. The multi-knob lights up. See? Multi-knob lights up. Now you adjust noise reduction.
I tried. When I got it, I was just so surprised at how well made this antenna is. And I did a few things because we have a lot of wind, we have a lot of stuff coming in off the water here. So I not only use the band clamps, I use a pop ribbon, and I've been doing that for quite a while now.
See that?
Let's see.
Starts to get a little watery here at 7. Okay, now you've got noise reduction 2 as well. You do the same thing. It will remember you at noise reduction 2 wherever you set it. Watch. Hold on a second. Let me get back to noise reduction 2. Okay, so it's currently set at 8. We can adjust that down. It goes to 20. See, it goes up to 20. But you have 2 independent settings. Let's say you want to go 8 on number 2. All right, trying not to wash out the screen on you. There you go. All right, so you got 8 at noise reduction 2. Turn off noise reduction. Now, watch.
Down here, one of the big employers here on the coast. And, yeah, well, we go through Mobile all the time. You know, Mobile is a 90-minute drive from here. Joel and
Here's 1.
45 minutes.
Noise reduction 2. Real watery, right? Let's bring that down. Okay, so you can bring it down, but here's the beautiful part. Okay, let's move over to 40. All right, 40 meters. Let me put down the camera. Okay, so we're now at 40, and what we're going to do is we're just going to find a signal. Boy, it's loud. Woo! All right, let's check 80. And I know it's daytime, I know, but I'm going to check these frequencies first. These will be closer in, but we're not looking for DX. Oops. Okay, so we're on 80. All right, let's take a look at the noise reduction again. Let's take a look at the level. See, it remembers it. It remembers where you're at. If you go to noise reduction 2, it's going to remember that setting. What's great about the Kenwood in terms of its noise reduction feature, and I'll be really honest, I like the way this works. First of all, it's adjustable, all right? That's not easily adjustable on a Yaesu 3000. It isn't. It's also not really easily adjustable on an Ftdx 10. We found that out when we did the review. Remember, you have 3 seconds to make your choice. On the 590 SG, there's no timer. You don't have to worry about hitting it quickly. You have time to adjust it. Listen for a moment, then adjust it more if you want. And then the radio will remember where you were. Maybe you go to 17 where there's not as much noise. Let's take a look at 17 meters on it. See how it sounds on 17, where there's usually less need for noise reduction, but more need for preamp. Okay, let's take a look at 17. Again, sorry for the lighting. It's just that time of day, my friends. Here we go. And you see I've already got the preamp in. I want to get you a better view. That's easy. Sorry. Right here somewhere. Signal there. There's your bandwidth adjustment. Sorry, guys. There you go. Here's your bandwidth adjustment here. Here's why I like to use it without bass boost. I like to run it on high or on flat, okay? If I go to flat, whoops, hold on. If I run flat, I can adjust everything out. Again, sorry for the camera angles. It's tough to do this two-handed. But I can adjust the width, the high and low cut right here, okay? It's on this button right here, high shift, low width. You adjust those buttons, and what it's going to do is it's going to adjust the width of the filter and how it sounds. Let's find a signal that will help explain that better here. We'll go to 20.
It's 1500 watts, and primarily it is long periodic and dipole antennas.
Hear that?
So
Let's widen it out.
Johnny, you take care, and look forward to another chat sometime. K7, Boston, India Radio, AB6 over.
Boy, I'm sorry about this light, guys.
This is Alpha Bravo 6 Zulu, QRZ, Mississippi 2 Cell Party.
Oh, this is so hard to do. Sorry.
Whiskey 5 Radio, Japan. This is Alpha Bravo 6 Zulu. You're 5 and 9 here into Pearl River County. That's Papa Echo Alpha, Mississippi. And the name here is Tom. Go ahead.
Okay, so there's the transceiver working on this signal, okay, on 20, okay? So we're at 14 to 15, and let me give it right at 16. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what the Yaesu Ftdx 101 does with the same signal, okay? It's going to have the waterfall, obviously, which is going to be helpful, but you don't need the waterfall to be effective at ham radio. You use your ears to do it. This radio invites you to do that. That's one of my favorite parts about the Sugar Golf. It really invites you to be a ham radio operator. Let's tune in. We'll take a look at the Ftdx 101 by Yaesu, which is currently #1 on Rob Sherwood's list. The 590 Sugar Golf is rated lower, but it's ahead of the 990, believe it or not. Isn't that something? It really is. It's a triple super heterodyne transceiver, but it's different. Let me explain the differences in the 590 and how it works as a super het, okay? There are 3 stages on this transceiver. There are 3. And I'm going to show you on a photo. Let me grab that up real quick while we take a look at the 101, and I'll show you the same signal. Let me change the antenna switch, and we'll hear the same QSO. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to just add some waterfall to the screen so you can actually see the signal a little better, okay? That's all I'm doing. Take a look carefully at that waterfall. Okay, now a lot of people run their span of their waterfall out farther than this. Say you go 100K, 100 kilohertz, which is 50 kilohertz each side. Take a look. We're going to turn down the gain on the front end of the waterfall, okay? So we'll make it hopefully easier to find that signal. You don't see the signal on the waterfall very well, do you? Now you see it. Now it finally came back. That's because of fade. We're getting fade in and out. Let's listen on the Sugar Golf. We'll hear the same signal. Give me a second to switch the switch.
The abbreviation for Pro County Kilo Alpha 4, Foxtrot Victor X.
Here's what I've done. I've added the noise reduction. I've added a little more of the low cut filter, just a little more of it. That's all I've done. Okay, same signal, same guy in Mississippi.
I have that correct on my day.
Okay, so on the Sugar Golf, one of the things that it does that is different than most super heterodynes is it's kind of in a way a little bit bipolar. Not meaning that in a bad way. Don't take it wrong. It's a super heterodyne triple conversion or double conversion. You can select which way it goes too. I don't know if you know that. It's pretty cool. Let me show you exactly the diagram for the Kenwood TS590SG. If the signal, if you're using 160, 80, 75, 40, and I'm looking at look at the top square, the top rectangle up there. That's where I'm reading from. So 40, or if you're on 12, okay, excuse me, 15, okay, 15 meters. It's going to go double super heterodyne path. Okay, that means the first intermediate frequency is going to be at 11.374. It's going to down convert. Okay, it's going to work as a down conversion radio. If you're using a frequency, and by the way, that's only if your receive passband is 2.7 kilohertz or less. If it's 2.7 kilohertz or less, it's going to use the down conversion path. But you can still go up conversion by selecting the conversion button, believe it or not. I'll show you what that is. Okay, it will use triple super heterodyne if you are on 15 meters and up. Okay, so if you're 15 and higher, excuse me, let me start over. Pardon me. 12 and higher, 12, 10, 6, it's triple. It'll be a triple super het. So the first mixer, the intermediate frequency is going to be at 73.095 megs, or at the bottom of that schematic scheme there. Then goes to the second mixer. That's the second oscillator. That's going to put you at 10.695 megahertz. That's there for sensitivity. That's why it's there. Okay. Both in the triple and double conversion process, it uses that third mixer at 24 kilohertz. That's there for selectivity. That's why it's there. It helps make the radio more selective. Now, you see the two paths. Let me show you on the radio how you can adjust which path you're listening on, either triple or double conversion. Let's go to the rig, and I hope the lighting won't kill us. I'm sorry, guys. That's one thing I simply cannot control here, and I've got a trip planned later to see some DX, hopefully. So let's take a look at it, and we'll get a better view right here. Let me show you where that is, okay? There's a button, IF fill. That is the intermediate filter frequency. That's the path you're using. Right now we're on A. Okay, so right now we're using the double conversion. Okay, let's listen on triple. Hear that? Added more noise because it's got a bigger intermediate filter at the beginning at over 70 megs. Take the noise out, you're now in double conversion. And the reason for that is because you're simply changing the intermediate frequency that comes into the transceiver and narrowing it down. Similar to the way Yaesu does on their hybrid SDRs, where instead of making it a traditional software-defined radio that is direct sampling, they use hybrid, so they use super heterodyne front end of 9 megahertz, and they convert from there. All right. From the menu, tons of things you can do. A ton of things. You move through the menu items, you change the frequency of your RX, of your TX, of your key, your key. You can adjust your CW, your decoding, your break-in, your frequency shift keying, your mic gain, typical things you're going to find on any menu-driven radio, including your, the lighting is bad, including your linear amplifier settings, everything. I mean, this radio has a lot of features in it, and including the option of putting a transverter on. So if you want a rig, basically that'll run you at 2 meters, you can do that as well with this transceiver. Again, the lighting's bad. It's hard for me to do the show this way, but you get an idea of what this does. It also is good, and you can see it in a lot of the YouTube videos that have been done on, and I'm not going to go through this with the CW decode. The CW decode is similar to most transceivers that are in this price range or higher. It's similar to the 101. CW decode on transceivers is kind of hit or miss. You've got to have a strong signal, needs to be tuned in well, and there can't be a lot of QSB, which is known as fade. So how does it work in comparison to the 101? Well, to be honest with you, they're both about the same. They really are. They both are about the same. There's no transceiver manufacturer that makes an excellent CW decoder on board. Will it do it? Yeah. But will it be totally accurate? No. They won't be. And they're terrible on weak signals. That's why it's important to learn CW. And we're going to do our best to try and do that here on the channel. How do I feel about the SG? I love the fact it has 2 antenna ends, but it does not do diversity receive. It will not do that. The 890 is the first one in the Kenwood line that'll do diversity reception. But you do have 2 antenna ends on the 590. You also can use an RX antenna. However, it's kind of strange. It's hooked up through an RCA port. Why they did that, I have no idea. The other thing I will tell you that I do like on the Kenwood is the tuner. The ATU on board reminds me very much of what you see on Elecraft. Let me show you the difference in the tuner of the 590 Sugar Golf compared to the tuner in a radio that costs 3 times as much with the Yaesu Ftdx 101 Delta. Take a look at this real quick. We're going to hit the antenna tuner and we're on 20 meters, okay? We'll just quickly tune. Listen how long it takes the relays to do the job. Antenna tuner's over here. We're going to go off frequency from where he's at. So we'll be down here. Listen, make sure we're not tuning on somebody. A second. Someone's there. All right. I don't hear anybody here. We're going to tune. So you go to the tune button, which is right here. You see where it says AT for tune. It's right here. Listen how long it takes to tune. It's done that fast. That's as fast it took to tune this rig. It's so quick. It's like the Elecraft. It really is very similar. Let's spin up the dial. We'll move up the VFO. Let's move up. We'll find another frequency up here. All right. Okay, so we're here. We haven't tuned yet. Listen to how quick this thing will tune. Done. That fast. That's how quick the Kenwood TS590 SG antenna onboard antenna tuner is. That's comparable to the MFJ 939. Very comparable. It's also very comparable to the Elecraft Cat 3 auto tuner, which is like a $400 option. That's a lightning fast auto tuner. It is. Let me show you how long it takes to tune the Yaesu. Let's go to the Yaesu real quick. I'll flip the antenna switch. Hang on. Okay, so we'll go off frequency, make sure we're not tuning on anybody. All right, listen to how, just take a look. Let's time this. Seriously, because it takes that long for these to tune, for Yaesus to tune. This is no joke. Huge difference. And in a big up to the Kenwood auto tuner versus the Yaesu. I mean that. It's that different. Let's time this in terms of how long it takes for this to auto tune. Okay? Press the auto tune button. Here we go. Still going and still going, still going. 6 1/2 seconds. You see the difference? 6.5 seconds. And that's normal for a Yaesu 101, an Ftdx 10, a 5000, a 3000, a 991 Alpha. You pick them, they do the same thing. The auto tuner on the Kenwood is lightning fast. It is phenomenal. Okay. Now, you might not like the sound in terms of what you're hearing the sound through. I have it going through the Heil parametric, so you can hear it directly on YouTube. I can tell you from using it, the sound is infinitely adjustable. You can add bass to it, you can add treble to it, you can flatten it out, you can make a lot of adjustments. Plus, with the adjustable bandwidth, high cut, low cut filters on it, you can really tune it in to the sound that you like. Price-wise, this is a radio you can buy for between $900 and $1,100, okay? The big difference will be, okay, and you can buy it more expensive should you want to pay more money. If you find like an anniversary and you really want one, that might be $1,400. I've seen them at that price quite a bit. But typically, the two options that you're going to pay more for on an SG is the VGA, which is the digital voice recorder card. That's going to cost you an extra $100 and some, about $110, $120. Also, you can put a TXCO oscillator on it. So, you know, you can add a little more frequency stability to the transceiver, and that's going to cost you over $100 as well. So that's going to be your price difference between about a $900 and $1,100 Kenwood 590 SG. You can also use this transceiver, by the way, as an additional VFO, fully functioning additional receiver to a Kenwood TS890. Just have this as your second rig. It works just brilliantly right through the back of the transceiver. The Kenwood TS590 SG, I think, is a fantastic transceiver for entry-level people. In fact, I think it's an exceptional transceiver. Has great RX, a very good front end. And if you look at ARRL's test data from QST, this is the number 5 rig on their list. Higher than the 890, higher than the 990. Really, bang for the buck. This is a fantastic transceiver. How well do I like it? I think it's a great rig. I really do. I bought it to show all of you guys a quick review on this rig. That was really the purpose, to show you what it can do. My first QSO, by the way, was all the way to Juneau, Alaska. I'll take that. That's good. So it works well, has excellent TX. The things I don't like, I'm not really fond of the screen colors. Screen colors are either going to be yellow or amber or green. Okay. It's okay, but would have liked to have seen maybe a little different. Also, something else that's a little bit weird on it, to me at least, that I don't care for is I wish it had diversity receive. If it has 2 antenna inputs, it should be able to have diversity receive. I mean, that's just, come on. I mean, it should be there. But again, you're talking about a rig that's $1,350 new. Okay. Is it a great bargain? I don't think it is compared to the ICOM 7300. I don't think anything compares to that price range, because it's a great bang for the buck. That's all it is. But teaching you ham radio, how to work a ham radio by not relying on your eyeballs, you can't go wrong with this rig. You can't, because so many of these signals that we see on rigs like this simply don't show up on waterfalls. The only way to find them is to use your ears. That's the honest truth. That's what I love about the 590. It's got a great front end. You can adjust the sound of it real easily. And if you hook it up to a good antenna, it's going to perform just as well as a transceiver that costs 3 or 4 times as much. It will. It will. Let's take a look at your comments. I appreciate your kindness, and I'll answer any questions I can on the rig. I like this. It's my second one. I bought this simply to share it with you, to show you what it looks like, how it works, to answer any questions about this transceiver. One other thing I will say, it's a little quirky. I'm not real fond of the Kenwood stock mic. I know stock mics are stock mics. And I mean, I got plenty of XLR mics I can use with my rigs, and I like to use them. But the Yaesu hand mic, to me, is a lot better. So is the ICOM. I just think it's a little bit cheap. That's all. Let's take a look at your comments. We'll see what we can do here to say hello to some folks. Johan, here from Barcelona, Spain. Johan, good evening to you. Thank you for coming. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Sean, in Central Oregon, might see you today. We'll see. Just getting ready to activate Tumalo State Park in Bend for Parks on the Air. Well done, my friend. That's a good one. Love it. He lives in a beautiful area. He does. His view to the west are, let's see, he's got Mount Hood, Mount Jefferson, Three Sisters, 6 mountain peaks, literally, because there's Three Finger Jack as well. So he has like 6 mountain peaks he looks at to the west that are covered in snow. And he's in the high desert, so there's no snow where he's at right now. But what a view. Man, he's got a great view. We're going to go his direction today, and we'll record the show, put it up to YouTube. Maybe tomorrow we'll get it up there. I'll show you what we do on 20 meters, working from elevation with a vertical. So, Sean, thanks for being here. Sly, again from Borneo. My goodness, is it an honor to have you. Thank you for coming, Sly. He's all the way in Malaysia. Wow. Thank you, man. Good to see you, my friend. Always good to see you. High Flyer, his call sign, 2 Whiskey Oscar Lima Kilo X-Ray. Like the Sony ICF 2010, the background still got mine too, but in the UK, yep, the 2001D. Fantastic radio. It is. You know, in the old days, ham radio used to be you would have a receiver and you'd have a transmitter. There were 2 separate items. That receiver right there has such amazing qualities for a handheld. Literally, you can hold it right in your lap, and it's got excellent selectivity and phenomenal sensitivity. They made it from about the mid-80s, like 83 or so, up until 2002 or so. It is really good. If you'd like to get a really good receiver that'll pick up the ham band, shortwave, long wave, aircraft, all of that, you know, for under like $400, you can't go wrong with that. Just try and get a serial number. If you can, get a serial number above 300,000. It's a really fantastic transceiver. Sean's back. He's a full licensee there. That's Mike Zero, Bravo, Juliet, Lima. Hey, Larry, sorry I haven't tagged in for a while. Been so busy and time you just didn't tie up. Hope you're well. Sean, I'm very blessed. Thank you for asking. I hope you're well as well. And thank you for coming in from the UK today. It's really nice to have you. Thank you. I wish I had your antennas. Man, that'd be so cool. Hey, thanks for the nice words to the demo. I wish that looked better because the lighting just stunk. So I'm sorry about that, you guys. I really am. I want it to be good. I want everything to be just perfect. And in my mind, before I produce the shows, I have an idea how it's going to look. And when it does that and washes out, it's disappointing. So again, you have my apologies and thank you for the thumbs up, regardless of how it looked. Thank you. Roger's here from Union City, California. His call sign is Kilo Delta 6 Whiskey Charlie Hotel. It's great to have you, Roger. Thank you. From the state of California. Wow, Union City. We almost went down there this weekend to see my father-in-law, Tracy. Nice area. High Flyer. TS590 looks like a great radio. It is. I love the 590. It teaches you how to work a radio. It's like the 2010 back there. No waterfall. You have to use your ears and think. That's what makes the 590 a brilliant transceiver. It's old school. It's the way ham radio used to be. And in a way, it's the way ham radio still is. Just trying to get a little less washout. There we go. That's better. There you go, little buddy. So, in a way, it's really old school ham radio, but it's the way you should be using a ham radio, with your ears, not your eyes. Okay? That's the most important part. All right. And yeah, very fast on the auto tuner, no question. It has the fastest factory auto tuner next to Elecraft I've ever seen. It's fantastic. Let's see. Sean, my 101D tuner is so noisy as well. Still a great radio. Totally agree. 100%. 100%, Sean. The 101D NMP, both are the best transceivers I have ever used because the receivers are so good. Truly. The only thing I don't like, the tuners. Tuners drive me crazy on it, but you're right. Yep. Freebander, he's got a 70th anniversary. Look at that, he's got a 75th. He's got one. A 70th anniversary. Congratulations, my friend. Did you get the Vibroplex paddle with it too? That's so sweet. What you got to tell me about it, man. You got to tell me because I did look at a few. I have. And yes, it is an excellent rig for CW. Good for learning CW too, because it does have the reader, but it also has a way when you send Morse code, it's going to show you the characters you're sending. So if you have a dummy load, you can practice Morse code with the 590 SG because it's going to read what you're sending. That's a really neat feature. Thor is here from Minnesota. Want to welcome him. Great to see you, Thor. Kilo Oscar Tango Juliet Tango. Sorry, my eyes were trying to focus on that. Sorry about that. He's splitting wood today. Take a quick break and say hello. Happy Easter to you and God bless you too, my friend. Thank you, Thor. Thank you. Whiskey 6, Julia India Mike sending some good vibes from California. Same to you, brother. Thanks. Same to you. Bless you. You're a nice guy. Think the world of you. You're kind. Thank you for that. Johan, he has a 2001 D2, and it works perfect. Yeah, they're great trends. They're great receivers. You know, the one little issue with those receivers are you get the error 3 message. It just happens. Most of the time it's because of the backup radio in the back, because it has a non-volatile memory in it, right? Excuse me, volatile memory. It has a volatile memory. So if those batteries are removed for too long, it just loses everything. It'll hold on for like a minute. It will hold on, but you've got to hurry and change the batteries. Well, if the batteries aren't connecting right, or if you have a problem with low batteries, error 3 pops up, the radio doesn't work, and you're screaming out loud like crazy. You know what I mean? No! Pretty much. All right. And Sly, you're very welcome. Gunter here from Germany. It's nice to see you. Thank you for coming very much. Thank you. Look at Thor. Hello, Hollywood, DK50NV. That's awesome. Guys, we're going to close the show. I got a long drive, about 90 miles east, but we'll see how well we work using the 7300 with both the MFJ 1060s. Anyway, using an MFJ antenna. Also going to use a Chameleon Cha 2.0 millwhip. We'll see how we do on 20 meters. Look for the signal. We'll see if we can make a call with you. It would be great. We'll be about 5,000 feet in elevation with a God-gift view eastward that is to die for. I'll send you some photos of it for sure. Until tomorrow, God bless you. Happy Easter to you. That means a lot. You know that? Think about it. We're saved because of what happened on Good Friday. Praise God for that gift. We also want to ask you to please subscribe. Subscribing helps people find the channel. If you'd like to get into ham radio, do so by reaching the American Radio Relay League at ARRL.org. ARRL.org is your connection, whether you're in the United States or outside. Check into them. They'll help you find a radio club that's close to you. If you'd like to contact the show, it's easy. Contact me right there at Gmail. Find the show, cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. That's cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. Before we go, I want to tell you this is a very special sign-off. This is a big one. I did this for Gunter. I did. Now, many people, and I don't want to get into Gunter, his history, because he's been in different countries. But Gunter's in Germany. Now, there's a generation that's growing up now that doesn't know that there used to be an East and West Germany. They just don't teach it in school for whatever reason anymore, which is a shame. That's part of our world history. But this is the final sign-off of Radio Berlin International from shortwave. If you remember the old days, Radio Berlin International was part of East Germany, the German Democratic Republic. Take a listen. This is their final broadcast just before Germany finally reunited. I hope you enjoy it. My name's Larry. My call sign is Kilo 7 Hotel November, and I mean this with all my heart. All the very best to you and your family for Easter. Thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.
A wave of expressions of support has reached us these last few weeks, since it has been announced that as from October the 2nd at midnight, all the Earth frequencies will be occupied by the Deutsche Welle, so that the voice of the German Democratic Republic will be silenced forever.
We hope you will understand that we can only quote from some of the letters.
As Geoffrey Lizama in Chile wrote, Radio Berlin International is almost part of my family. Your programs are of a good quality. When you end broadcasting, I would regret that.
G.K. Hogan in Norway wrote, "For me it would be awful if you would simply disappear from the air."
Harald Süß in Vienna. In view of your outstanding programs and your above-average listener service, the closing of Radio Berlin International could hardly be in the interests of all the listeners. RBI's elimination must be prevented.
Luigi Zavagna in Rome. I share many listeners' concern that with the unification of the two Germanys, which is just and deserved, we'll have to do without the wonderful RBI programs.
Anthony Matty in Luxembourg. I wonder why they are so eager to silence Radio Berlin International as quickly as possible. Belgium has much less money available than Germany, but it finances 2 foreign radio services. Why shouldn't this be possible for Germany too?
We have also received lots of questions on the future of our DX programs. For instance, from Frederick Lesser in Fribourg, Switzerland, Herbert Eichele in Maintal, West Germany, Jean Marbach in Zillesheim, France, or Dan Leyland in Upper Hutt, New Zealand.
Eugen Berberich in Andernach, West Germany, wanted to know who will in future provide the detailed and competent information on the eastern part of Germany that we were used to.
And Mohamed Siaki Ruiba in Algeria wrote, "I was very moved when I learned that RBI will disappear soon, and I regret that very much. Let us hope that the foreign radio service of the United Germany will come up to the expectations of the RBI listeners, taking into account what they were accustomed to as far as both the kind of programs and the presentation are concerned."
Well, and this only German foreign station will be the Deutsche Welle, as from October the 3rd. You can learn from their programs which ideas they have over there in Cologne on their future programs, which from then on will also be broadcast on behalf of us 60 million East Germans. Morris Benfridge in St. James, Australia wrote, "Unfortunately, it was obvious that with German unification, you won't be able to afford maintaining 2 foreign stations. This really is a shame, especially when we become aware that at the point when the whole of Germany is orientated at a market economy, competition disappears from one of the most important media."
This is also what Mr. T. Vaughan in Southampton in Britain regrets, as he wrote, "It is a sad thing that you, who have just achieved the freedom of opinion, are now condemned of losing it again," unquote. We might fill much more of our broadcasting time with similar views. All your letters give us, in a very emotional and personal way, the feeling that during the past years,
we, the RBI staff, succeeded in throwing a bridge between the Ftdx and our listeners in for more than 100 countries. A bridge which is worth being maintained in the United Germany. And perhaps it is now that signals are sent out, signals of hope for the future peaceful living together in a united Europe. And perhaps we might even meet one day here in Berlin or elsewhere. You know, there aren't any walls any longer in this city. With that, we'd like to say goodbye to you on behalf of all of our colleagues here at Radio Berlin International. Many thanks for the many years of good contacts between this station and our listeners, which we are sure we'll always remember.
Britta Rickert and Gisela Pirner, leafing through letters that have reached RBI from around the world.